Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Java and Joy. I am super excited to kick off February, the month of love, with a self-love series. It's going to be a 4-part series this month, literally all about loving yourself. But it's going to help you apply this to every relationship that you have. So not just with yourself, but with your friends, your family, your partners, your spouses, your children, everyone. It's going to apply to that because it really does begin with self-love, and you're going to see how that really impacts all of your other relationships. It starts with the relationship with yourself. So I'm really excited to kick this off. The first episode that we're doing today, we're calling it the Self-Love Isn't Selfish episode, and why it is the foundation of every relationship. So, if you are new to me, hi, welcome. I am Carla Joy. I am the host and your little pocket coach that you can carry around with me everywhere you go. And I am so excited to get into this episode, but as always, let's do our little warm up. So I want you to get your coffee or your beverage of choice, get a comfy seat. Welcome to the Coaching Cafe if you are new here. And if you are not driving, take a selfie of yourself enjoying your favorite drink of choice and post that on Instagram. Tag me at Beauty by Carla Joy, and I will be choosing random giveaway winners who share their Java and Joy moments online. Love seeing you guys spending time bettering yourselves, feeling better, and finding your joy. So let's take a deep breath. Release any tension that you are holding. If you are driving, unclench your knees, legs, jaw, drop your shoulders, and just let go of anything bad that your body is holding and enjoy this time just for you. And as always, let's start with our joy moment of the week. Now, I want you to think about this last week. What was one joy moment you had? Now, mine actually came from being snowed in. And if you are anywhere Midwest, East, well, I think 70% of our country or something like that is buried in snow right now. And we are experiencing negative temperatures. It is extremely uncomfortable. It's dangerous. And we're pretty much just kind of hunkering down at this point and only leaving when needed. So it's literally forced us to sit still. And I know for me, that's a big struggle. I love to get out and do things. I do not like being cooped up in my home. I know for others that is, kind of like your happy place, which I love my home, but I love to leave my home too. So that was immediately when I knew this was going to be days and days of this. I'm like, oh boy, okay, we're going to go a little stir crazy. What can we do to better this situation and make the most out of it? And the things that are really coming to me is a lot of this stemmed from, the episode we talked about last week is just, winter and January specifically is really a good time for us to reset and rest and honor that biological part of us. And that's exactly what I've been doing. I have been neglecting my reading lately. So I have kind of just decided that every spare moment I get where I would normally leave and go do this or that, I'm going to read. And I finished one of the books that I have been trying to finish, I think for several months now, by one of my favorite women in running. And such a good autobiography. I really enjoyed it. And it was nice to just do that. And I kind of made self-care moments out of these reading sessions. I, grabbed, a comfy blankie and put on the comfy socks and, lit a candle, or I turned on ambiance screens on my TV from YouTube and just created like these wonderful self-care moments while I was reading. And it was great. It's really been great. So yeah, so that's, finding that joy in something that isn't necessarily joyful. I had to look hard, but I'm like, wow, you're right. This is the time to just like lean into the things that I wish I had more time to do, the things I complain about not doing when I'm so busy all the time. And I'm like, you know what? Let's just do that. So we've been doing lots of reading. Reading has been my time filler right now, and it really has helped keep me from going stir crazy. And I'm curious, what are you guys doing to waver the storm, so to speak? Are we getting back into sourdough? Are we, painting? What are we doing? What are we doing with our time? I'm curious. Share those with me, because I myself sometimes get stuck in the same list of activities, and it's good to mix it up and hear from other people. And when you share these kind of things online, other people see what you share, and it sparks some interest and ideas for them too. So share your snowed in activities with us, will you, please? Okay. Well, let's just get ready. Let's just get going. So again, we're talking about self-love here, why it isn't selfish, but let's talk about why us women, especially those of us like, that middle age and up, why do we struggle so much with self-love? And when I really took a pause and thought back, like way back, like where does this come from? And it really stems from like as we were growing up. So I know for me, like I feel like women have always been praised when we are helpful, when we're more easygoing, when we're strong, when we're selfless, when we're doing everything for everyone else. We get all the accolades, all the praise. We get told we're Wonder Woman, and it makes us feel good for sure when we're told those things. But it also kind of trains us to believe that if we aren't constantly doing those things, then we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing. So we're being praised for all those things, and all those things are great and we should do them. But we also need to honor the other side of our instincts and our gut feelings and our intuitions when it's telling us we need, rest or to do something for ourselves. And I feel like sometimes as women, we get punished when we seem like we're too needy, we're too loud, we're too honest, we're too bossy, or we're too tired, or we try to set boundaries. It almost feels like our culture punishes us for that. Does anyone else feel that way? I know I feel that way. I know so many of my clients that I speak to feel that way, and those of you on social media. And I feel like it's just time for us to recognize this, and it's time to shift. It is time to start listening to what we need and start putting ourselves first. And I say this all the time, but like, if you don't take care of yourself, you're not going to be the best version of yourself. And therefore, you can't be as good of a mom or a wife or an employee or whatever title or hat you're trying to wear if you're constantly running on empty. It's just the fact, right? So putting yourself first actually benefits others indirectly, even though you may not be getting praised for it in the moment when we do it. But I mean, think about how many times you've been praised because you did something for someone else. But think about how many times you weren't praised because maybe you spoke your mind, or you set a boundary, or you said no, right? Guarantee you can probably make a list right now of 5 in the next 30 seconds, because it's so true. We've learned so early that love comes when we give, and that approval comes when we sacrifice. And that pattern has followed us. It's followed us our entire into teenage years, young adulthood, regular adulthood, and now into midlife. We've carried it into our marriages, our friendships, our motherhoods, our careers, thinking that we have to give. Pour. And meanwhile, our cups are depleting because we've given, and we're tired. And we're entering a part in our lives where just biologically we're going to be more tired. So we have to learn to honor that and say when enough is enough. Now, I'm not saying that we have to all just say, I'm not doing anything for anybody anymore. That is not what I am saying. This is not your permission to just become a completely selfish person and not think of others and not take care of your kids and not be a good wife. None of those things. But what I am telling you is you need to start prioritizing yourself, and you need to start learning to set some boundaries and create ways that aren't going to lead you to burnout, that are going to actually increase your energy and make you feel better. And let's just talk about when you're not practicing self-love, you're actually practicing self-abandonment. And that affects all of your relationships, ladies. If you're overgiving, then you're not loving yourself. You're not honoring yourself. And this is going to lead to like resentment and kind of just disappointment. And it's going to bottle up so much. And you're just going to eventually want to implode or explode. And it's not fun when you're constantly not like speaking what's on your mind. You're going to feel unseen. You're going to feel unheard. And the thing is, when we don't honor ourselves, when we don't practice self-love and tell people what we need, we somehow expect them to like read our minds. How many of us expect our husbands to read our minds? Guilty. It's embarrassing to admit. I don't want to admit it. But a lot of times I will, be thinking something and I'm like, gosh, he doesn't even care. He's not even say anything that I'm feeling this way. And meanwhile, he's like in an ignorant bliss over there. He doesn't even know that this is happening. And I just expect him to know. Well, that's not fair. It's not fair to him. And I'm doing myself a disservice by not just saying, hey, here's what I'm thinking. It sounds so easy when you say it out loud, like, hey, I'm feeling this way, FYI. It's that easy, ladies. We make it way harder than it has to be. But if we were just to say, hey, this is how I'm feeling, I would like to, see how we could maybe like solve this. Like if I say, hey, you know what? I am just really feeling burnt out today. Can you help me take on X, Y, or Z? Can you just take this chore off my plate today? These are just examples, but this is what I mean. Like, how easy would it be for us to just express how we're feeling instead of sitting there stewing in our, nasty place and like building resentment to people who don't even deserve it. And this is what I mean when I say that self-care isn't selfish, because here we are not honoring ourselves, not putting ourselves first, and we're affecting the people we love most by doing it. That's not helping them. You helping you will help them. We don't realize it, but when we fill our own cups, when we honor ourselves, when we say what we need, we ask for help, we pause the button when we need to, we're helping everyone else around us, because we're not going to be a bottled up pain in the you-know-what. It's really, really true. And I will tell you this, us expecting people to read our minds and not speaking up, it's just one of those things that is going to feed into you just having added stress that you don't need. And when I say speak your mind, I'm talking about your wants, your needs, your desires, things like that. I'm not saying that every little thing everybody else is doing that you need to speak up and point out. In fact, I advise you not to worry about what everybody else is doing and not let them affect you. Just worry about what you're really needing, what you need. And it's funny, I am just finishing up listening to Mel Robbins' new audiobook called Let Them. So powerful. Holy moly, go listen. Go listen. It's amazing. I mean, she can do no wrong in my book, to be perfectly honest. But it's so good because it really does teach us to let people do what they're going to do, because they're going to do it. Whether we want them to or not, they're going to think what they want. And there's nothing we can do about all that. So let's just save our energy to worrying about what we need, ladies. What we need, right? It's just like if we just start listening to ourselves, we'd be so much better off. So go check out that book. It's really, really powerful. I think you will really enjoy that. So just by honoring ourselves, it's going to make everything else feel less heavy. It's going to make your relationships feel less heavy, your job, because you're just carrying too much alone. That's what it boils down to. So self-love, it's not indulgence. It's not saying I'm doing everything for me and nothing for anybody else. It's a responsibility to you and everyone around you to take care of your basic needs so that you can be better for them. So if you really are honest with yourself, then self-care is needed to help others. It is not an option. It is a responsibility. You are responsible for being the best mom that you can be. You are responsible for being the best wife that you can be because you have taken on those roles. You chose those roles. And it's your responsibility to be the best that you can at those. And to be the best, you're going to have to take care of yourself. Think about when you're sitting and doing something with, maybe it's your kid, maybe you're doing homework, maybe it's your husband, maybe you're sitting at the dinner table, and your mind is in 100 other places, or you're so tired you can't think at all. You're not really present with them. You're there, but are you really there? Are you really in that moment? No, you're not. And you owe it to them to be present. Fully engaged when you're with them, not just going through the motions, rushing through the homework, rushing through the dinner, rushing through the conversations. Slowing down and being present is going to take you being rested and having your cups full in order to do that. So that's why I say it is your responsibility to practice self-love and self-care. Okay, so here's where I want you guys to really take a moment here, and I want you to ask yourself this question. What have I been tolerating that's costing me my peace? Are you always saying yes? Is there someone in your life that just throws everything on you and at you, and you just can't continue to take it on? There's something that is costing you peace that you can take responsibility for and flip the script. And let your body answer this, like before your mind even does, because you're probably thinking of something that is a stressor, and you can already feel the heart rate increase a little bit of tension, muscles are tightening, just by thinking about this stressor that is costing you your peace. And this doesn't mean that you have to go like remove a person from your life. Maybe it just means you need to have a conversation with this person in your life. Or maybe it's you just need to have a conversation with yourself and say, okay, yeah, I can start taking 5 to 10 minutes a day for me to go take a bath or go listen to some music or go read a book. Maybe you just have to be honest with yourself. So wherever that piece is being stolen, whether it's from yourself or from others, get ready to have a conversation with that individual. And that's how you're going to get your peace back. And that's how you're going to show yourself love. Okay? So let's talk about like what self-love looks like from the outside. Self-love looks like rest without guilt. It looks like saying no without having to explain why you're saying no. It looks like changing your mind. Yes, you are allowed to change your mind, ladies. Will others sometimes be shocked? Yes. Will they care? Yes. Does that matter? No. No. If you change your mind, you change your mind. They'll be mad for about a millisecond and then they'll move on with whatever else happens in their life. So don't let what other people might think, and we'll go into this a little more later, keep you from changing your mind. Just because you liked something yesterday doesn't mean you like it now. You can change your mind. In fact, every season in life changes us. We grow. We like new things. We try new things. We stop liking things. It's part of the journey of life, and it is okay. So you can change your mind. Self-love also just looks like asking for help. Again, hey, can you take over the dishes today? Hey, can you take the laundry over this week? I'm just having a week. Asking for help. Self-love can look like just choosing peace over proving yourself to somebody. Just choosing to do what you want to do versus worrying about what everybody else is going to think about it. This is grown woman self-love. It's not performative. It's not aesthetic. It's just honest. It's not pretty. It's messy. This is grown woman self-love. So I'm going to share a little story here about me. And a big moment for me of showing myself self-love. So a couple years ago, I really wanted to start an online business. And it started with like makeup and skincare. And I really wanted to help women, especially middle-aged and over, feel beautiful and learn to practice self-care. And I didn't know what this all looked like. I just knew I wanted to do makeup and skincare, make them feel good like it was making me feel good, right? I wanted to share that joy. But having an online business, you know, you have like a Facebook page, right? You have like your personal Facebook page or whatever. I'm like, are people going to be like, why is she posting pictures of her makeup or her washing her face or, you know, whatever. So first and foremost, I'm like, wow, all these people that are on my Facebook, friends from, 20 years ago, they're aren't they going to be like, what is she doing? Well, first of all, the answer is yeah, they're gonna. But at the time, I didn't realize that it doesn't matter that they're gonna, because they're gonna for like 5 minutes and then they're gonna move on. Again, this kind of ties back to Mel's point of just let them feel how they want to feel, because it's not going to last very long anyway, and it shouldn't stop you from doing what you want to do. But I also kept asking myself, wow, if I do this, I'm going to give up a really good paying career as a project manager with a really reputable company with all the benefits. And that was scary, to know I almost felt like it made me seem ungrateful to give up something that other people would love to have in order to do what I really wanted to do. So many people would love a work from home job that pays really well in a good company with benefits. And I was grateful for it. But it wasn't what I wanted to do with my life. I wanted to be my own boss. I wanted to help people in my way. And I was so burnt out from the 9 to 5. I was so burnt out from sitting at a desk all day. I am an up and go girl. I mean, that is who I am. That's probably why I did so well in the restaurant industry for years and years while I was going to school. I love being on my feet. I love talking to people. And I like helping. I have a servant mentality. And I was just missing all that. And no amount of money and security was making me happy. So I had to go against the norm. I had to just go with what my gut really wanted me to do, even if that meant less money, less security, and even if people judged me for it. I had to choose myself. I had to honor myself. So I chose self-love. I chose to love and embrace who I am now, not who I should be or even who I used to be. And when I changed how I treated myself and showed myself self-love, everyone else adjusted. Of course, at first people rolled their eyes. Oh, whatever, online business. Oh, okay, whatever. Oh, makeup, skincare, whatever. But over time, and especially as I evolved and like, how can I help people more and more and more, and made it more about that and stopped stressing about how much I'm making or how fast I'm growing, people just started to just surround me. Like this community started to build. And then fast forward, here we are 3 years later, I've got a podcast and a radio show and a coaching business, plus my beauty and wellness business. So it's expanded and it's become something that I'm so proud of and thankful for. And newsflash, I still don't make the money I used to make. I don't have all the benefits that I used to have. I'm a self-employed woman. Comes with its challenges, but I freaking love it. I freaking love it. I love it. I wouldn't trade it. I don't regret it. There's days where I'm like panicking, obviously. There's days where I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I going to balance all this? And how do I, I'm constantly having to learn new things with technology. And, when you're doing podcasts and radio shows and creating content, let me tell you, technology changes very quickly and it keeps you on your toes. But I love it. It's exciting, it's thrilling, and it's mine. It's mine, and I love it. And if I hadn't have chosen to take the harder road, the scarier road, I'd still be sitting there at that desk 9 to 5 as a project manager getting yelled at by people on the phone all day because their internet wasn't working or their phone service wasn't working. No, thank you, ma'am. No, thank you. I don't miss it. Do not miss it. I don't miss having to ask for a day off. I don't miss having to decide who gets to take vacation when. I don't miss any of it. And I'm loving the season that I'm in. And I'm glad that I chose to honor myself, even on the days that I struggle. Because yes, I still struggle. Trust me on this. So whatever it is that you're not honoring yourself with, listen to yourself and honor it. There's a reason it keeps coming up. There's a reason it's boiling inside of you. And that is where you have to choose self-love. Go against the norm. Go against what everybody expects all of us women to do or think or say. Be you. Always be you in a respectful, professional manner. Always be a good person, but be you and do what you want with your life. That is self-love, ladies. That is self-love. So, I hope that little story inspired you a little bit. Just a little bit. Maybe it made you think about what you really want in life. And if this episode spoke to you, that's your intuition. It's not coincidence. You don't need to do more. You don't need to stop, leaving, or you don't need to leave yourself out of everything. You need to start listening to yourself and start practicing self-love. This is your sign that it is time. So I hope this episode helps you get there. So let's take one last sip of our Java. Mine has gotten very cold, but if you know me, I'll drink it anyway. So let's shift our mindset here. Be ready to take on the rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, as always, I hope that this poured some joy into your life. And if you love the episode, please keep the joy going forward. Send this to a friend who also needs a reminder to practice self-love. Come hang out with me on social media at Beauty by Carla Joy. I'm on all the places. And leave me a review if you really love this. That helps me grow in so many weird ways. It's just one of those things that you learn as you go about in this business that, stars and reviews matter. So I would appreciate it if you could leave me a review. It's really, really helpful. It'll help me reach even more women and hopefully impact them in a positive way as well. And if you have any questions, if you're looking for coaching tips, go to my website, beautybycarlajoy.com. Make sure you're signed up for my free newsletter. I do a newsletter every week full of feel-good, wonderful things. We do giveaways and just all kinds of fun stuff. So definitely check that out while you're there. And if you're listening to this on a podcast or on YouTube, everything is in the show notes, all my links. Go check it all out there. But that's all I have for you in this episode today. Short and sweet and loving ourselves, right? So until next time, please, please, please remember to practice self-love. And February is the month of love. So surround yourself with that love and joy because it's so important. So I hope that you love yourself a little extra today and moving forward. And as always, go find your joy. Have a good one, guys. Bye.